My name is Alan Singer. I'm an historian and a professor in the School of Education, and I want to share some of my driver license stories with you. In New York City, you can't get a driver's license until you're 18 years old unless you take driver's ed. My parents had me take driver's ed because we lived in the South Bronx, and they needed me to move the car from one side of the street to the other for alternate side of the street parking. So that's my first driver's license story. For my birthday, my 18, my older friends, we went to a place called McSorley's in the East Village. McSorley's was one of these old-fashioned bars with sawdust on the floor. And in the 1960s, they did not admit women, so only guys could go, and that's where we bought our first legal beer. When I was 19, in college, and my driver's license, again, is important because I worked my way through college as a New York City taxi driver. As I entered graduate school, I worked at summer sleepaway camps as a driver maintenance man. I drove trucks with the garbage and the laundry, and I drove school buses. But the best part of this job, in 1972, I took a group of teenagers to Prince Edward Island to see a total eclipse of the sun. I drove for 34 hours one way, 34 hours back. We were there for 20 minutes, and the eclipse lasted 8. It was one of the great adventures of my life. I became a New York City teacher, and then I got laid off when New York City went bankrupt in 1975, and that's when my driver's license became important again. I got a job. In my first driving job, I worked for Coca-Cola, distributing display cases for their new plastic bottles. It was a really good job, but it only lasted a couple of months because it turned out if you dropped the plastic bottle, they exploded. But my next driving adventure was driving a New York City bus on Brooklyn on the night shift for a year. This job was important because by that time I was married with 3 kids. That job got me through, and that was a really good job. 1978, I finally got called back to teaching, parent, later a college professor and a grandparent. I hope to meet some of you this summer at Hofstra orientation, and where I get a chance to learn some of your driver's license stories, and I look forward to having you in class, especially if you're interested in becoming either a truck driver or a teacher.